Hey guys, it's Chris, and welcome to the Toned and Toneful video podcast episode number 34. You have reasons to be happy. Why are you choosing to be sad? So in this week's episode, guys, we're returning back to the Toned and Toneful that's about spiritual, psychological, and mental health, back as usual, that will help us with our musical progress. And so one of the things that I was thinking about over this past month, while I've been working on all these diet episodes, was what am I going to return to when I come back to talking about some of the more traditional subjects that we talk about on Toned and Toneful. And one of the things that came to mind that I'd noticed over the past month is so many people that I know have been complaining about things in their life that they either have total control over or that aren't even problems. And it got me to thinking, if we have so much to be happy about, why are we choosing to be sad? Why is the normal person that exists in this world today choosing the negative path over the positive one? So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about why it is such a great and important choice in our life to be more on the side of being positive and looking at what we have in our life and starting to decide why it's not the best thing to be always looking for something to complain about. There is a pretty big amount of people that I've ran into in this last month, like I spoke about a moment ago, that have been complaining about things in their life that are perfectly fine. They're complaining about things in their life like, I had to wake up early today. What, you had to wake up early to come to work because you have the opportunity for a job? You know, that's the first thing in my mind. You have the opportunity for a job, so why are we complaining about getting up early? Or people are complaining about, I had to spend money on my child's birthday party and it was expensive. And while it is expensive to have a child in your life, would you imagine what it would be like to be someone like me who wants to have a child in their life and doesn't have a child in their life? And I work hard to, be the best person that I can be, but, I don't have a child at this current time. So these were some of the things that were going through my mind this last week. And it's just been kind of crazy to me how many people choose to be sad about their life. And one of the things that I think that a lot of people ruin their health with, along with, bad diet, but one of the things that we could really, really cripple ourselves with is having a weak mental mindset towards thankfulness. Something that a lot of people who are close to me notice is I'm one of the first people to always say thank you. Or I'm one of those people who will show up on other people's Instagram posts, or I'll show up in your DMs, and I'm typically obnoxiously positive. And it's one of the things that I'm very happy that I do, because life is very, very hard. Life is hard. But most of the people who live in America, most of us who have jobs, most of us who have a cell phone with social media, most of us who have the capability to do what we want to do in our lives, what are we actually complaining about? We have the ability to create music. Most of us here are musicians. We have the ability to use all 10 of our fingers. I mean, how many of us are the guitar player who's actually playing with their feet? How many of us are actually like musicians with hearing aids and that actually can't hear right? How many of us are actually, struggling to go to work every day, where it's like, oh, I don't have a car, or I don't have a ride, or I don't have an ability to get there. Like, I literally need to run to work. I mean, you're talking to someone here who commutes by bike. So I'm very familiar with what it is to work hard to earn something. And I'm very thankful for every little thing that I have. I look around at my guitar collection. While it might not be the largest one, it is one to be thankful for. And I think a lot of people could take a look at that in their lives. Like, who do I have in my life? Do you still have your family in your life? Do you still have your brothers and sisters? Are you able to call upon at least one or two real friends in your life to tell them what's going on? Or to be able to let them know, like, hey, like, would you like to go out and hang out, or would you like to do something? If you have that ability, you are lucky. You are lucky. This world doesn't owe us anything, and I think a lot of us live under this duress that complaining and that being very whiny is some sort of solution for letting out our weakness in life. I think a lot of us could lean more towards discipline. I think a lot of us could learn that no matter what is going on in our life, why are we choosing to be sad? Why are we choosing the method that complaining will help us? I could go into study after study and show you complaining doesn't do anything for us. It ruins your mental aspect. It lowers your ability to be positive. And it creates a habit that those around you that you might want around you, maybe you're saying you don't have as many friends as you want. Well, you're surely not going to build more friends by complaining. You're surely not going to make better connections and get a better job if you want a better paying job by complaining. You're surely not going to get to the next step in your life by complaining and being complacent rather than being the kind of person who's thankful and looking for a way out. And one of the things that really, I know it sounds like I'm just like almost like complaining to you guys, but I'm just trying to state how important it is that we keep our mindset in a thankful place. You guys have probably noticed many Toned and Tonefuls where I talk about how thankful I am for the community that we have. My community is not big. Toned and Toneful is not the biggest community yet, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the ability to have money to afford doing some things for Toned and Toneful. Right now I'm working on some merchandise ideas, and I'm working with an artist to build up some of these ideas so that there can be things for the future of this. But I don't get there by complaining that, oh, well, Toned and Toneful has a great message and I'm trying to do all this stuff and no one's listening to me. Or I don't complain to you guys that everyone in the world just wants to be lazy and no one cares about doing the hard work, so that's why Toned and Toneful isn't anywhere. No. I keep trying to build up one person by one person, a group of people who are willing to work hard for the things that they have in their life, a group of people who are willing to do what it takes to become the best version of their self. And it's something that I'm super passionate about. It's something that I live my life doing. Making music for me is more than just creating great songs or trying to be a guitar hero, even though that would be like a great level to get to. The most important thing for me with making music and working on things for Toned and Toneful is to heal people in this world. That is my ultimate mission. I want someone to be able to hear music that I made and it to either fix something inside them or for them to hear it and go, I want to play music too. And with Toned and Toneful, it's the same thing. If I can say the right thing on a diet episode that makes someone want to be healthy, if I can say the right thing on an episode that makes someone want to be more mentally open and more humble and more happy, then that's what I want. And as time continues on, I become more and more thankful because I realize how precious life is and how lucky the opportunity I have to be in the position that I'm in. How lucky I am to have a job, to be clothed, to still have my hands and my fingers. How many of you guys have been through a traumatic event in your life? How many of you guys have actually been in a car accident or a bicycle accident or been in some form of something where you were really sick and it worried you and you made it out okay and you're still complaining? How many of you actually have somebody who asks you, are you all right every day? And you go, yeah, and then you go right into complaining? How many of you actually have the ability to choose happiness, but yet you walk around depressed? You say you're depressed. The thing that you put in your mind is that you're unhappy and that you're unable to be complete for yourself. Far too many people are doing this. And it hurts me because the thing that I want to see and the thing that I want for everybody is for them to be fulfilled. Sorry, it's really early in the morning. Right now it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to shoot this Toned and Toneful early so that way it would be finished for you guys. So my nose is a little sniffly because I just got up. And one of the things that I really, really want to see in this world is people choose the higher path. For people to choose to be happy rather than sad. For people to choose to be confident rather than choosing to be depressed. When somebody chooses to be depressed and when someone chooses to complain, there's a choice time that we have in our head. Like in our head, we have time to choose, what am I going to say? Or we have time to choose, how do I want to feel about this? And in that time period, that is the time that we make the choice and we decide, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to choose to think about the things that make me happy. And furthermore, before I even worry if I'm happy or not, because most people in this world have something to be happy about, to be honest. But if you didn't, we're not owed happiness. Our life is something that is created through our hard work, and our life is something that is created through our diligence. If you guys remember a long time ago, I made an episode that said that discipline is a skill, that consistency is a skill. And it absolutely is. And I think that everyone needs to be developing this in order to create a world where we're not complaining, create a world where we're actually working harder every day and we're thankful for our situations that we're in. I know that sometimes things can be a little bit annoying or things can be a little bit frustrating, but to be a person who complains means that like you're allowing your mindset to be in a weaker place than someone who doesn't. Is that really where you want your mindset to be? As I work through the challenges of creating and finishing my first real release for you guys, there's a lot of things that I had to overcome. Issues with perfection, issues with confidence, issues with communication, issues with outlook on life, addiction. And as all these things bundle together, I realize how much I have to be thankful for. The people in my life are amazing. Are the people in your life amazing? Do you have that awesome uncle who no matter what makes you laugh? Do you have that awesome son who just has the energy that when you watch your son or your daughter, you're like, wow, look at this energy? Do you have a wife in your life that she really loves you? Do you have that husband or do you have that boyfriend who, no matter what, kind of urges you on and pushes you on in a good way? Do you have a tribe? And if you don't have a tribe, are you entering a state of monk mode or temple life that you can build yourself up so that when you do re-enter life, you have something to be confident about? These are all questions that I ask because these are each steps to realizing, to self-actualizing your happiness. And how lucky we are to live in this world. And how lucky we are to be able to communicate with others, to live into a world where this telephone right here I can literally talk into this telephone, create a video, and send it around the world and connect with people who don't even live on the same continent as me. I'm beyond thankful. You guys sending me messages and talking to me about music and about life, I couldn't ask for more. So when you guys think about what you have in your life, think about how much damage you're causing to your mindset every time you complain. Please take a moment that every time you're about to complain, think about, what am I even doing this for? What am I even contemplating this complaint for when I could be building up my life? When I can be building up my team around me, when I can be building up my tribe, where I could be learning how to be a leader of my life. Why is the energy that we're taking is going into complaining and thinking about that complaint? Yeah, like no one listens to me. Are you saying anything that's worth saying? And maybe you are. And if you are, find the right people to say it to. And if that takes time for people to hear, that's just an effort you're going to have to make. I think a lot of people don't like the reality of like how long sometimes things take. and how long some things actually will take to come together. But the truth is we're all in this together to work and be a team. And if you can use and utilize your capability as a person in life, you will have nothing to complain about because you'd be so busy and you'd be so fulfilled with just finishing things that you know you need to do that there wouldn't be space to complain. You would just feel great. You'd feel lucky to have the opportunity to live the life you're living and feel lucky to have the opportunity to do the things that you are doing in such a fashion. This life is a true blessing. And it is our job to lead ourselves through this life and find what is right for us. Every episode of Toned and Toneful to this day forward is, to this day and forward on, is about being able to build yourself and being able to have yourself be in such a fashion that you could be confident, that you could be a fulfilling person to be around, that you could fulfill yourself, that you'd be the most positive person in the room. And if there were 10 most positive people in the room, imagine what that room would be like. I've heard a saying that you're like the 5 people you spend the most time around. So if you were going to be spending time around a lot of people, wouldn't you want it to be the most positive? Because I would. That's what I look for. When I hang around my friend Ben, when I hang around my friend Alec, who I call Crisp, when I hang around other people like Chris Yates, Monica, and when I hang around friends at my job, Steven, Gino, these are the people who complete me in a way. Like, I'm complete on my own, but these are the people who make my experience wonderful. They are my tribe. These are the people who I can go to every day and talk to things about. And not only is there no judgment, but these are the people who keep me positive. They're not constantly whispering something negative in my ear. Do you have that in your life? And if you don't, you need to create your tribe. But remember, as you build yourself up, having the most positive mindset, and having your mind in a place where it can see the truth of what's going on and you're not just complaining about things that are totally normal. I had to get up early. I had to travel to work. Oh my God, I had to pay for this. Can you believe how expensive this is? If you have a job and you're getting paid for it and that job doesn't satisfy you, then work hard enough to know you could get a better job and find a better one so that the things that are expensive for you become more affordable. Do the work. Get a resume written. Get out there. If a song is really hard for you to play, like you're working through some parts and you're like, man, this is just like, I can't tie these parts down. Don't tell yourself that. Instead, analyze what's hard in it for you, maybe understand what your weakness is on the instrument, and put work into that. Because the hardest part about busting through any barrier is actually busting through it. Is that you feel it. And that is one of the most important things that I think we could all learn. Is we could learn to work our way through that. And if we could find it in ourselves to be the best version of what we want to be, how could we ever want anything else? How could you even want to complain? If you were being the best version of yourself, you'd realize how lucky you are to be you. You'd realize how lucky you are to have the opportunity to have your arms and legs. How lucky you are to have the opportunity to think clearly and look on a cell phone and be like, oh, cool, like, I can gather information or I can learn something. Keep these things in mind before the next time before you guys complain. And I know it seemed like a lot of what I was saying was just like being a badgering father. But it is so important to me that people recognize how many things that they have to be happy about in life and what that means. And if you can't see how much and how special that is, that's something that you really, really, really need to be working on. So anyway, guys, I really hope that your week has been going good. I really hope that you guys are learning to have the best times. I hope that this year, this first quarter, is starting off right for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you guys made it this far in the video and what you guys think of, having a positive mindset and what a positive mindset means to you guys. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me through the last month of kind of my February health month. That's really, really important to me to pass that off on you guys. Pass off the information that I know about diet. And I have so much more for you guys. Like, that was literally just scraping the surface. But I'm just so thankful to share with you guys. And I just want you to know that the community that we're building and the people who are here, you guys are some of my favorite people. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I hope you have a great week. I hope that things go well. I hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday. And above all else, stay toned and toneful.